Once the cars are in here, which is the base for us over the weekend, looking after them, servicing them. At the moment they're out on the stages and the guys are preparing any spares that we think we might need. Here in Sweden, quite often you have a lot of panel damage from when they touch the snowbanks on the stages, so there's a lot of work going on in terms of getting the bumpers built into a complete assembly that we can swap at service, and then after the service we'll start repairing the bumpers that have come off the car to see if they can be used again later on. And then also we have all our other spares, normal spares, dampers, gearboxes, turbos, for example, that are here just in case we need them. If we're entering a service, the guys have different amount of time during the day. At lunchtime it's 30 minutes, in the evening that extends to 45. And they will have that time to basically try and repair everything on the car. If there's no damage, then it's a fairly straightforward task. We would change the oils and have a good look around, check everything on the car. But if there's some damage, we have the opportunity to repair that. The cars are designed to come apart and go back together very quickly. So we can change, for example, a transmission in 20 minutes, a turbo in 15 minutes, some suspension in 5 minutes. And it really depends on what's happened to the car in the morning. But each car has one engineer and he will be in control of giving the jobs to the mechanics here.
How much spare parts do you have on each race?
So some of the spare parts for the cars are limited. So for example, suspension, there's only a certain number of units we can use for the team. We can't change any engines, but basically otherwise, apart from that, we have at least 2 of everything else. So that's 1 for each car. And as the rally goes on, obviously the requirement for spares becomes less. So we actually have 2 people employed full time to do all the forecasting of the spares we'll need over the course of the event and the season.
Is this your first time in Umeå?
Yeah, first time for me.
How does it feel to come here and drive on the snow?
It's amazing to drive on snow. For sure it's a bit new, so we need to take experience and to see how it works. But it's more smooth and clean compared to gravel or something like that. So yeah, you need to use to and to try to find the confidence and the compromise.
What can you tell me about the car?
Oh, it's great, you know, on this condition to drive a car like that. It's something very fantastic. So yeah, we will try to enjoy and to be able to be at 100% of the car at the end of the week.
And the season so far?
Yeah, but we did only 1 race. Unfortunately, in Monte the speed was there, but we did a small mistake and we had an issue on Sunday, so we have to retire. But yeah, it's part of the game and the process, so let's keep pushing and to be focused.
Yeah, so last year we introduced the hybrid technology. It was a big change at the time. Over the last 18 months we've become quite used to it, and actually working with the system is quite straightforward. There is still a few challenges and we're always looking for ways to try and improve. We had to spend some time educating all of the mechanics on the safety elements of the hybrid units, and the same for the crews. But now we are 1 year in, you know, we are quite used to how it works, and I think it's a good development for the championship.
How many people work on each car?
So we're limited by the number of regulations that allow the people to work on the car. We're allowed 4 people per car, effectively. But if you're in a WRC team like we have Oit and Pierre, that means 8 people, and 8 people therefore can work on 1 car at the same time. When we come down to the Rally 2 car, there is no limitation, but actually it can be quite difficult to have any more than about 8 people on 1 car because it gets very busy. So usually we would have between 4 and 6 people working on 1 car. They have to wear a band on the WRC cars to show that they're allowed to work on the car. Nobody else is allowed to touch that car, but when parts are taken off, they can hand it to somebody else, and then anybody can work on the part or repair it or replace it. So the guys that are wearing the bands allow them to work on the car. We bring specialist engineers and specialist technicians with us, for example, electrical technicians, transmission technicians. If they need to work on the car, they can swap the band with somebody else, and then they can go to work on the car, but it just means the total number of people stays the same. the mechanical skills required for the rally cars are quite different from the road cars. You know, we're looking for people who are able to work under pressure because you're always under time constraints. We're looking for people who have really good attention to detail. You know, we can't afford to have anything incorrect when the cars go out onto the stages. And we're looking for people who really care about what they do. They want to be the best, always look to improve, always find new ways to do things. So, you know, a good mechanic can work on a rally car, there's no question about that, but we need those extra qualities that aren't necessarily just about how you actually work on a car.
Is more spare parts needed in just the winter rally?
For the winter rally, you potentially need more body panels because of the damage you see against the snowbanks. The rest of the time, if there's no crashes, the wear on the car is very low because the surface is quite smooth. But we do have what we call a load list, which is the amount of spares we leave for each rally, and that does change dependent on the rally. If you go to a rough gravel rally, we'll take more spares because there tends to be more damage, and different specifications as well, maybe thicker sump guards to more protection compared to here where there's not so many impacts, so we can run a thinner sump guard.
The winter rally itself, do you like it?
I very much like the snow rallies. It's a nice experience to come here every year and see the cars flat out in the snowbanks. Not such a fan of the cold weather, but we live in the north of England as well, so we're half used to it. So it's nice to come here every year. It's a really nice country, very friendly and always welcome. So I think we all look forward to coming here.